Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. For those of you here, my name is Cindy Wetu. Feel free to join the family by clicking on the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell for more updates, so whenever I upload you'd be the first to be notified. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. In today's video I have something different. It's simply a few tips and tricks that worked for me during my weight loss journey. Well, before let me go a little bit, give you a little bit backstory. So growing up I was super skinny, like I was always petite. Yeah, like I was the type that even if I eat nothing happens. And then when I got to my teenage, especially in high school, I gained sudden weight, like a lot of it. Like literally I had a nickname for just being, you know, big. You understand? Like they used to call me earthquake, so you can imagine how bad that is. Like in a way that if I walk in a room, like I'm shaking, that kind of bad. Yeah, so after I gained that weight, actually I was very happy about it. It's not like I wanted to, but you know, when you're growing, when you're becoming a woman, that is what happens. Your body changes. So around that time I gained certain weight, which went away with time, because when I got to form 4, actually I was a size small from being an earthquake. Yeah, like I literally went to size small. Like all my uniforms had to be, you know, resized and everything. And since then, since high school, my body has been like, it's been on and off. Like there's no stable weight for myself, so I've always struggled with that. So at some point I realized, you know, especially after campus, I realized that it was how I eat is what affects my body. So if I'm in an environment whereby I'm happy, of course I will gain the happy weight. If I'm in an environment that is sad, I'll gain extra weight, because I used to have a very bad habit of stress eating. You understand? So that really affected me so much, guys. Like each time I'm stressed, and you know, being a teenager and trying to navigate life, how bad it can be, especially being, you know, depressed, sad, worried, feeling like no one understands you, like just trying to get, you know, trying to figure out life. So yeah, I gained a lot of weight at some point. So when I realized that I was fat, it was getting out of hand. It was like my weight was getting out of hand was when someone who was known to me made a very funny comment. So there's this day I was around them and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. I ate quite early last night and I've not eaten, and it's around 3. And then she looked at me and said, you look full already, you don't need to eat. So that was I brushed it off, but it did not sit right with me. So I was like, oh, this person is normally careless with their words. Maybe, you know, they don't mean any harm. So the second time we had gone to do our nails together and stuff, and then I said I'm hungry and I wanted to send someone to go buy me you know, fries and sausages and something to drink. So I said, I'm hungry, could I find someone, you know, to send to buy me food, because it was just, you know, a few blocks away where they bought good ones. And then she said, no, but you look full already, what's the point of eating? At that point I knew for a fact something was wrong. To be honest with you, I felt quite confident in myself at the time, but I didn't know that I was just telling myself, like, you know, I was confident but I wasn't happy, if that makes any sense. Like I was confident, I knew for a fact I'm a good person beyond, you know, my appearance. I still looked good. Like, so when that same person made that comment, and then other comments were made like shortly after, it drove me crazy. Like I was sad. And then being the person that I was, I never used to confront anything, like any situation. Like I'd take it in, you know, let it pile. and not address it. So you can imagine how bad I was feeling. So anyways, that evening I went home. I was so sad. I cried my eyes out. Like, it was so I was so emotional. It took a toll on me. So it went from stress eating to not eating. Because I remember that night I went home. I cried and cried and cried. So I tried to go to sleep. I wasn't sleeping, and then the more I cried, the more I felt hungry. And I remember that night I woke up, I looked into my kitchen, and I was like, what is the fastest thing I can make? So I tried to, like, I checked for pasta. There was no pasta, like, had finished and had not restocked. So I went, took a cup of rice, boiled it, and ate it at 2:30 a.m. I remember I served it with, I just poured a little bit of ketchup on top, so you can imagine, and ate it. And after I ate it, I went to bed. I took some water, I went to bed. And I grew up around people who are big. I wasn't used to seeing skinny people around me growing up, but that's not an excuse. I feel like I had accepted it. So, and also, being that I was skinny in the family where people are big, of course they used to make fun of me. So for me, being big, like when I started gaining weight and stuff, it was normal. It was acceptable. But now, after I shopped and came back, I actually sat down and I sat down and I started watching Beyonce's performance. There's this performance that Beyonce was performing, and I remember the part vividly where she called Jay-Z, her husband, and told him that, oh, imagine this dress now fits, because the dress had not been fitting her after she gave birth and stuff. So, and then she went ahead and spoke about, what she's been doing to make sure that by the time she's performing, the dress would be able to fit. That hit me, and I said, you know what, I am changing my life. So instead of getting depressed and stress eating like I used to, I said, if it's food, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be eating. So I started I started using the hatred and the comments that I used to get as a motivation, as a fuel to drive me into doing what is best for me. Yes, I know those were other people's comments, but again, I looked at myself and I said, well, if I could just lose a little bit, like, how would I look? You understand? So the hate comments, the negative comments, and the comparisons that, oh, you don't look like so and so and stuff, and so on and so forth, I took it so personal, and I said, this hate is going to be fuel to my fire. Yeah. So using the bad comments, the negativity, being called names, use it as a fuel to drive you towards feeling better and achieving your body goals. It has to start within. Yeah, so for me, I took it further by starving myself, but it worked at the end of the day. It's extreme, but the maximum I did was 3 days. If I knew, I would have just eaten like a little bit every day, or every day, but not skipping a meal a day. So that was not healthy, but it worked for me. So I'd encourage you to at least eat something each day. As I continue to stick to this diet, I learned to do something. So instead of just laying down watching movies, because I wasn't leaving the house, of course, I started moving my body. I said, because I cannot go to the gym, and I hate YouTube gym instructions that people do, because I feel like some of them they edit faster, and then you end up doing too much and your body hurts and stuff. I tried that, didn't work. I said, you know what, I'm gonna be dancing. I'm gonna learn how to dance. So at the time, there was a lot of Afro music that was so popular and stuff. So there are people who were like, I'm gonna teach you how to do this dance or do this Afro move and stuff. So I would log into YouTube and then dance. Like half of my day I would dance, even if it meant moving just a little bit. I would dance. Like dancing helped me. I don't like to go like for long walks, but I had to incorporate that later on. I would either dance if I don't feel like dancing. If I feel like I want to go outside and see the world, I would go for a walk. So yeah, get your body moving. Like even if you're gonna walk inside the house, walk inside the house. If you're gonna dance, like even if you're gonna start, you know, slow, get your body moving, even if it's for just 1 hour. Anyways, yeah, and then I started doing intermittent fasting. So I would only eat in the morning, and in my meal plan I'd have a little bit of what do you call it, of nuts. I used to eat a lot of nuts, like almond nuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, name it. I'd have nuts, I'd have avocados, I'd have oranges, like just a little bit, like a spoonful, and then one side, because I want the other one to serve me the following day. You understand? So that is what I'd do. So I'd make sure that every morning at least I have something in my stomach to push me throughout the day and the night. And then also I used to take a lot of coffee. I'm not saying I don't know anything to do with this. Well, it's on social media, they say coffee helps you lose weight and stuff, but I became a coffee addict. Like literally my teeth started turning brown, like I had to go for a regular wash because I became a coffee addict. So I felt like coffee gave me a ton of energy to go through my day, because you know it stimulates you and stuff. So I became a coffee addict and I didn't realize it, but I had to tone down later on because I realized that the more I take coffee, the more I needed to hydrate because it dries my skin. Now after 1 month I started feeling better, but I could not see like a noticeable change. You understand? I felt better, I felt lighter. Yes, I felt lighter, but I could not, my face was still, you know, swollen, plump as usual. I was still curvy and stuff, but I was less bloated than I was when I was not doing anything about it. I was less bloated. That is when I noticed, you know, I'm feeling better about this. I actually like it. Like I started normalizing, you know, just doing what I'm doing. Like it became my routine. You understand? So the second month, that is when I realized a change. Where I was going outside and then I wore my mommy jeans, you know, these baggy jeans and stuff, and I noticed that it could not fit me. Like it was loose, like I saw, like, you know, it was sagging, and I was like, ooh, I did it. I did. Yeah, like I was so happy about it. I was like, wow. You understand? So that day I felt so nice. I tried to dance a little bit, you know, checking myself out. But as days go by and I took measurements, and I was losing a ton of weight each day. You understand? So I noticed that it got me so excited and so happy, and I wanted to go on and on and on. In 3 months, I was also making sure that I have a lot of sleep. Like at that time I used to have like 12 hours sleep. So if you're busy, if you know, you work from morning to evening, you have to make sure that you sleep early when you get home. Kindly, you have to make sure that you give your body rest that it needs, so that, you know, you'd be able to prepare for another day to fast and keep going. So I made sure that I had a lot of sleep and hydrate. In that when you're about to eat, you feel full already. So when you wake up, take some water first before you eat, so you feel full already, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it worked for me. That is what I do, what I did, and would work for you. So currently what I do is what I have learned after all these several months, what I have learned after all this time. What is more important is portion control. You do not have to go as extreme as I did. What is more important is portion control, because if you go as drastic as I did, it's going to leave you with sagging skin, depending on how big you are. You understand? So portion control, like you don't even have to cut off what do you call it, wheat or dairy. You can serve, but just have a little bit in your plate. Make sure that the veggies are more and the proteins are more than the carbs, especially the veggies. You do not have to cut anything. Portion control, portion control. You can have 3 meals a day, but you do portion control. So this helps you not only to cut weight in a healthy way, but also your body adjusts to it bit by bit, to an extent that you're not left with sagging skin. You understand? Because after that, if you're left with sagging skin, to get it to normal is another work that you do not want to do. You understand? So for me, it worked for me. It was short term. I thank God. Like the third month, I knew for a fact. The third month, I was a size small from being 2XL. I was a size small. Like I had lost over 27 kgs of weight. So you can imagine, in the third month. And then that's when I started getting comments like, you're losing weight, what's happening, are you okay? I remember there's this day my neighbor had a party, and I was by the door, and then there's this lady, shout out to Bobo. So Bobo was like, oh my gosh, Cindy, you've lost so much weight, you look amazing. And I was like, thank you. Yes, that. But that was the time that I had just stopped. So I was doing like intermittent fasting, but with portion control. So I would still make my regular smoothies. I would still, eat as much food as I felt like, but like eat as frequent as possible, but portion control. You understand? So that is what I did. And then even eating the foods that you're told once in a while, you can do that once in a while, but do not make it a habit. Once in a while could be twice a year, I'm just saying. But yeah, you have to make it personal, like personalize your goal. Do not even tell anyone. Work on yourself in private. Build yourself in private. Build your self-esteem. Build your confidence in private. It worked for me. I know it can work for you. So just give it a try. So if you are one person who you cannot just drastically cut things off completely, just start bit by bit. Portion control, like portion control whatever you eat. Understand? And even if it's healthy, do not eat too much of it. Just a little bit of it. So that is what worked for me. I hope you give these tips a try. Learn it from me, and of course you will definitely, I guarantee you'll see a change.